Hot take. Star Wars has always been political. If you've heard ever, or have read any comment saying keep politics out of Star Wars, it's always been political. It's always been about the commentary on the social and the science and the social sciences and everything that's happening in the world. It's always been a reflection of it. And before we get into the discussion as to the politics in Star Wars, here's George Lucas himself.
In school, I was of the, angry young man.
Sure, you were a rebel.
I come out of anthropology.
Yeah.
So my focus is social systems.
Right.
And in science fiction, you got two branches. One is science.
Yeah.
And the other is social.
Right.
I'm much more of the 1984 kind of guy.
Sure.
Than I am
THX 1138.
With the spaceship guy.
Yeah.
The spaceship, I got into spaceships out of cars.
Yeah.
I love cars, I love going fast.
Going fast.
So I like spaceships.
Yeah.
But it isn't the science, aliens, and all that kind of stuff that I get focused on. It's the how do the people react to all those things?
Yeah.
And how do they accommodate them?
Yeah.
So that's the part that really fascinates me and I'm interested in.
You did something very interesting with Star Wars, if you think about it. The good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists today. We call them Mujahideen, we call them Al-Qaeda.
When I did it, they were Viet Cong.
Exactly. So were you thinking of that at the time?
Yes.
So it was a very anti-authoritarian, very kind of 60s against the man kind of thing, nested deep inside of a fantasy.
Or a colonial, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
Right.
And we're just a bunch of hayseeds in coonskin hats that don't know nothing.
That's right.
And it was the same thing with the Vietnamese.
Yep.
The irony of that one is in both of those, the little guys won.
Right.
And the big, highly technical empire,
the English Empire, right?
the English
British
Empire, the American Empire,
Yep.
lost.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
But that's a classic us not profiting from the lesson of history, because you look at the inception of this country and it's a very noble fight of the underdog against the massive empire. You look at the situation now where America is so proud of being the biggest economy, the most powerful military force on the planet. It's become the empire from the perspective of a lot of people around the world.
It was the empire during the Vietnam War. But we never learned, from England or Rome or, a dozen other empires that went on for hundreds of years or sometimes thousands of years. We never got it. We never said, well, wait, this isn't the right thing to do. And we're still struggling with it.
And they fall because of failure of leadership or government often. And
Mostly
you have a great line, which is, so this is how liberty dies.
We're in the middle of it right now.
To thunderous applause. Exactly. It was a condemnation of populism in a science fiction context.
That's a theme that runs all the way through Star Wars.
I think science fiction is so good at these kind of social themes.
Yeah, the great thing about Star Wars is I had a vessel that I could throw anything into.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest problems you have in science fiction with movies, they don't have it in books or anything, but in movies, you have to create a real world.
Yeah.
And it's a real world that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And you have to do what Kurosawa used to say is, it has to have immaculate reality.
Yeah.
Even though it's not real.
I like that term, yeah.
All right, so after watch that, is Star Wars political, Choco?
No. Obviously, it is political, and it's always been political, and it's not political in a abstract sense. It's political in a very real sense, and it's political in a very modern sense. The politics at the time of the original trilogy bled into the original trilogy. At the time of the prequel trilogy, bled into the prequel trilogy, right? It's not isolated. And I know we like to point to, World War II, Germany as inspiration, but honestly, that was just the dressing of it. It was supposed to make you look and make you think. And Yeah, it has always been political, and if you enjoy Star Wars for what it is, it should continue to be. And I think the largest issue is that a lot of people grew up to become the bad guy, and they're finally seeing it. And that's why we have so much pushback.
Yeah, and we heard from the words, we heard the words straight from George Lucas's mouth. You know, Star Wars was his science fiction vessel to put anything he wanted, and he put in the social sciences. He put in the political messages of the American Empire versus the Viet Cong, and it has largely been a vessel for, you know, social commentary, what's happening around the world and what's happening in the social sciences of it all. And it has always been reflective of that. And so if you approach Star Wars and want politics to be removed from it or keep politics out of Star Wars, then you don't have Star Wars, you have Star.